Hello, hello. Our kanji journey continues into part 5 of the M3 set. And we start off with a cool one. This one means master. On the left we have some sort of official or agent or something like that. On the right we have a marketplace. So someone who controls the whole marketplace, this whole general area is a master. And this shows up as kind of like an honorific kanji to show that you're like great at something. You can see all of these. Nice, nice. This of course being teach, this being like skill, this being doctor by itself, but here it's like really doctor. This is fishing, and this is like argument. So an argument master is a lecturer. Makes sense. This is write down. On the left we have like saying or whatever. And on the right, this is something meaning self, meaning kind of your life in general. So this is kind of scribing down. I think this is used for writing in diaries and such like that. Nice, nice. Actually, this might be the key in Nikki, maybe? I'm not sure. This is to kill. So on the right, we have like human, and then this kind of like association, anything dealing with like multiple human interactions. On the left, at the bottom, we have what's like too much. When it's under the roof, this is too much or excessive or whatever. So if we think of this top part as like an attack, an X, too much of that is going to lead them all the way to death. So this is to kill, this is the koro, that makes for millions and millions of puns in Assassination Classroom. This is defeat. On the left we have money. On the right we have this sort of interchanging thing. So we're losing the money, let's say. The money is passing out of our hands. We have been defeated. This is an adult woman, I believe. So on the left we have woman. On the right we have katakana yo over a market. I think of this as like, yeah, like I think lady is the term they use in the other kanji app I use. So I don't know. I kind of think of this as like returning home. It's not quite, but it sort of reminds me of the kanji like kaeru, to return home. So a woman kind of returning home to her family. That's like a lady, I guess. That's the lady of the home. I don't know. This is trade or deal. On the top we have like standing up, upright. On the bottom we have like kind of a room, and the room has like what seems to be like people discussing something in it. So they're making some sort of deal. And this has to do with all sorts of trade and selling and commerce and such like that. This is garden. We see like a pathway here with like a king on top of it. So you can think of this kind of like royal, luxurious road, and it's sort of secluded, it's kept away. So it's your nice private garden. Nice. So you see this on signs and stuff, tourist destinations maybe. This is your duty. It kind of looks like kill. It has that same general shape, but actually all of the radicals are different. So I don't know why it is that I get them mixed up. On the left, this is kind of like a private hand matter. On the right, an interchange of power. Somehow in your mind, just try to make that add up to someone's duty. Both of these things mean office. Okay. This is assemble or organize. On the left, we have a thread. So we're kind of stringing together a whole bunch of people or ideas. On the right, we have this thing that I kind of think of as like myself. Not really sure if that's a good way to think of this radical, but here I kind of think of myself joining with a lot of other things. So this just sort of means any sort of association, interchange, assembled group of people. This is remaining. So on the left, I think of this kind of as part of row or like lining things up. So and on the right, this is like coin or shallow or convenient or things that denotate like a small amount, kind of a residual leftover amount. So together, you can kind of think of, if you've lined everything up, past a certain point is just the remainder. So that's what we get here, I guess. This is abbreviation or omission, I'm pretty sure. Ah, set up or prepare. Okay. Sure. Yeah, they don't actually even look that similar. I just got it mixed up. Yeah, I should have thought about this a little more. I probably could have come to that conclusion. All right, anyways, we'll look at this one again later when we get it right. This is root. So on the left we have tree, on the right we have good. But good also we saw in retreat. So if you kind of think of like the retreating path of the tree, it's the roots, I guess, or kind of the goodness of the tree, like the thing that is generating its life force, is the roots, something like that. Maybe, I don't know. This is abbreviation or omission. I don't really know a good way to remember this because it's just sort of a part of speech or whatever. It's like just three little radicals put together like that. It's one that I do get mixed up quite a bit with other things. This I think is load, which I have difficulty with. I assume that this is baggage. That's what I've seen before. Yeah, luggage or baggage. So that's like nimotsu, like a load thing, I guess. Okay, sure. Oh, I didn't talk about how to remember that. Well, it's like grass over what? Which I don't really know if there is a good way to remember that. This is navigate. On the left is a boat. On the right is like, I kind of think of this by itself as like the stand-up radical, even when it is just the roof of it over top of human legs. So we're trying to make the boat kind of go in a deliberate direction because we're navigating with the boat, right? Sure. This is, I think, to rip and tear. Yeah. I've seen this as like to rend or to reap, I think. So on the left we have a stone. On the right we have kind of our degrees, our split and discrete aspects of something. So we're kind of using a stone to tear and shred apart something, I think. Sure. This is to so this I thought was to carry something along with you. But among these, I'm not really sure. Maybe contain? No, link in succession. Really? Okay. Yeah, this lead or to take is what I think. To take someone along, to carry someone, I guess. Okay, all right. Okay, we're learning. We're learning other usages of these words, which is good. This is a horse. And it's kind of just a radical by itself. And I don't really know why this is supposed to look like a horse. Maybe it's like the saddle or something. It shows someone riding, I don't know. But it's a horse. And it shows up as baka, bakashi. These two kanji together being stupid. Classic. Yeah, it's a horse. This is quick or fast. So this guiding road will kind of indicate something moving, and then this is just, I don't know, it just means fast. I don't know. I'm a little shook for getting two wrong. So I feel no confidence in trying to say why that's fast right now. This is an individual. We have like a person, and then on the right, this is like circumference, if you recall. Or maybe it's harden. It's either harden or circumference. I think it's actually harden. But either way, you either think of the outline of a person, like the person's circumference, or you think of like a hardened person, distinct from the things that sometimes might seep through the porousness of certain social borders in their lives. No, no, no. We're talking now about the individual, the separate entity that is that person. This is harm. And I don't really know why. I don't know how to think of this as harm. That's a good one to know. This is instructs. So if someone is saying to you a whole kind of river of information with like a sequence of things happening kind of flowing through their lecture, maybe they're instructing you, maybe they're giving you some sort of flowing guidance like that. Sure. This is to create. So this one I always feel like is sort of strange that it uses this winding thing, whereas creation I think of as more of like a singular action. But I guess that's not quite right. Like you can think of this as maybe like the entire project of creation flowing along this road. And this on the top is kind of like life. It's sort of like the life radical, but not quite, but close enough maybe. And then the mouth, kind of thinking of the human discussion and activity around creation, maybe. I don't know. I don't really have a good one for that. This is a seat. I don't really have a good one for this either. We're inside a little house. We're having a little sit down. This is like a total ideogram of somebody going like, and there's their shoulders and their hands. I'm having a seat. Maybe? I don't know. That's rough. This is container appearance. So you can kind of see it's like the mouth is at the bottom, contained within this roof, contained within these, contained within this. So that feeling of like contained, 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 I guess. I don't know. This shows up a lot in various things. It's a good one to know. This is a ship. Before I said that just this radical by itself is a ship, which it is, and then different things on the right make it different types of ships. But if you ever see this by itself, it also means ships. So don't worry about it. This is property or wealth. On the left we have money. On the right we have genius. So someone who's a genius with money has a lot of property and wealth and stuff, I guess. Sure. This is a warehouse. If you think of like this being a vehicle, there's a ton of vehicles full of products underneath this roof because it is our warehouse. Sure. And the cold castle warehouse is your refrigerator. Nice. This is... What? What is this? Hope? I thought this was like Vice. Like the second in command. So maybe it's secondary? But then there's another one that kind of looks like this that means like blessings or something. So I thought maybe it's hope. I'm gonna guess it's secondary. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, in my Kanji app it's Vice, and it's like Vice hyphen. So like vice president, vice principal, whatever. But this, of course, is, I guess, the same thing. It's just your secondary, your like second in command or whatever. But then it's also used in these compounds, which don't make any sense to me, but whatever. I guess this kind of makes sense, because this is part of speech. So like the secondary part of speech, like a helper thing, is like an adverb, I guess. Like it's descripting a secondary part of speech that always needs to be in reference to another type of part of speech. Something like that? I don't know. I don't know. This is land. Yeah, there we go. So on the left, this is kind of like human metropolis, large human activity. On the right, we have like ground and more ground. So this is the land. This is the dividing up of a land, of coming onto that land and declaring it land. Land. This is ability. So if you think of this as like the body down here, kind of like the private things about the body, things that not necessarily everyone knows that you can do. And then here are some of them, these two katakana he's. It's like, look at this, I can point up like that and stick my feet up in the air. Sure. So you want to know, this is to distribute. So on the left, I said I associate this one always with alcohol. And then this is like self. So you can think of it as like your share, that if somebody is going around pouring out the alcohol and distributing the alcohol, this kind of represents your share, I guess. Sure. Shows up in a lot of different compounds. Ooh, I like that. The distribution of the heart is your worry or concern or anxiety. It's like you're sharing your feelings with other people and causing them all to worry too. Great. This is rate. I think of it as kind of like something is coming down from here, and then there's this kind of like filtering operation, and then it comes out below at some measured rate, because I think of this cross as kind of like a measurement thing. Yeah. Sure. This is touch or contact, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So on the left we have like a hand, on the right we have standing up, and then like a woman. So I don't know, it's like you have to kind of rise up and reach out if you want to make a contact with someone of the opposite gender, if you want to like date or something. Your hand has to rise and touch. I guess, I don't know. This doesn't seem like it could possibly be a good way of thinking about it, or about thinking of life in general. But whatever, this is what we get. This is to detain or stay. So we have like a sword and this other thing over top of a rice field. So you can kind of think they're just like blocking it, that this is like a stopping someone from leaving, I guess. I don't know. It's also used in studying abroad or an overseas student. That's interesting. I don't know why. This is belt or wear. It kind of looks like seat, I think, but it's a little different. On the top we have like a mountain that's being crossed. On the bottom we have the market, which we also think of in the context of master and such. So a belt that you walk around the market and all people recognize because you've crossed the mountain or something like that. I don't know. All sorts of strange, I guess it's a belt as like the calm belt and stuff, like the tropical belt around the world, or the calm belt is from One Piece, of course. This is to bathe. So on the left we have water, on the right we have like a little house inside of something. So the little area in which you go to immerse yourself in water is bathing. Oh, interesting. So this is like the U in public baths. You often see just katakana U or hiragana U to represent this. Apparently it's also the U in yukata. I did not know that. Interesting. Okay. This is to extinguish. To me, I always think that this is very ideographic, that this kind of just looks like a candle being lit, and here's some water coming up to splash it. This is one you can look for in public quite a lot because it's on fire extinguishers. It's a good one to know. This is I think this is hope. Yeah, and I think of this as ambition, but I suppose those are largely synonyms. So yeah, it's like a master. Here, I don't think of this as the body, but back to being the moon. You see the moon glittering in the distance. And then this is kind of like the upright thing, but I don't know. This one on the top left, I don't know what's going on there. But basically, you're looking up at the moon. Even though you're the king of Earth, you still look upwards at the moon. Your ambition goes even further, your hope for what more you can accomplish. This is status or norm. On the left we have a tree. On the right we have this kind of radical again. And that's status or norm. I don't know what to tell you. I don't really know how to make this one make sense. This is one I've screwed up quite a bit in the past. This is, I think of this as like distinction. So I think it's difference. Yeah. But I had always thought of it as like a very positive thing. That it's like, oh, you graduated with distinction or something. But I guess it's more a general, anything that's kind of an outlier, anything that has like a noteworthy difference. You use this. Oh, sure. Okay. That's fine. This is breath. So this, of course, on the top is self. At the bottom is heart. So you can kind of think of this as like your respiratory system, I guess. Things are coming in through the face and going down to the heart, breathing in and out. Sure. And your breath child is your son. Interesting. Interesting. I didn't know that. Good ones. Good ones to know. This is blame or burden. So on the bottom we have money. On the top we have something that looks like it's weighing heavily on the money. So I don't know. It's just kind of like the problems. This is like it's kind of like a heaviness or something. I don't really know how to put it. This one is snow. On the top we have rain, and on the bottom we have katakana yo, which isn't katakana you, but it can make you think of katakana you, and then you, of course, is Yuki, and that is how I've always remembered this kanji. But saying it out loud, it sounds really stupid, so feel free to remember your own way. This is Grandchild. So on the left we have a child. On the right we have a thread. So your child's child, if you can picture a thread, progressing further and further through the generations. That's your grandchild. And then in general, you can see here, it just means your descendants in general. This is climate or season. So we have like a person looking through this wall. Here's our katakana yu, and here is like a dart, or I kind of associate it with a doctor. So I always thought of this as like kind of a negative looking kanji, because I associate this also with like defeat, because it kind of looks like that kanji. And then it's like, oh, the climate sucks now. Like we're all gonna kill ourselves because we're making things way too hot. So that whole kind of thing just feels right that it's climate. But I look at this kanji and I get depressed, and I'm like, oh, it must be talking about the climate. Is that good enough for you? Does that work? I don't know. This is times or double. I'm not really sure why. This is like a person kind of calling up a voice, maybe, making a voice stand up, and then that increases the volume. It's not just you talking anymore, this other person's talking too. Things are doubling, I guess. I don't know. This is to set up or prepare, I think. Oh, follower. Oh, okay. What is that in my kanji text? Well, okay, so I got it mixed up with something else too, because I wasn't really sure what it was. And then I started thinking that it was like rouse, to wake up or something, which looks vaguely similar to this. It has the run aspect of it. But no, so we got 3 wrong this time. That's terrible. This is side, person, money, sword. I don't know. These are all things that you want to kind of like keep to your side. You're like guarding it. Something like that. This person has these things by their side. I don't know. This is an island. This part to me looks like a bird, because it is very similar to the kanji for bird. And then on the bottom is a mountain, so you think bird's kind of perching on an island or a mountain. Maybe it's like an island mountain, you know. The birds are flapping around. I don't know. This is flow or current. So water, and then kind of like a river, and this is like a little private area, but it's all flowing from that spot. Sure, sure. This is department. It's used a lot for like the management and organization of facilities and stores and stuff like that. And I think also clubs, like the K-On! Boo, the light music club. That boo is this, I think. So this is like another voice being rised up and raised. This is a whole kind of human society or human group of those. So everyone kind of speaking together about their purpose. That's your department. Then these are the ones we got a little wrong. So this was link in succession. Sure, I guess have to remember that too. It kind of looks like a chain. You can imagine all of these vehicle kanji forming one long chain. So then the path of that chain is this link or succession, I guess. This was set up or prepare? Yeah, okay. Yeah. So you're saying something, you're getting someone ready, you're causing this sort of human mixing. Sure, and this was follower. So on the left, I always associate this with like going somewhere. It's in ikimasu. And then on the right is like running. So someone is running and someone is going along after them. That's like a follower. All right, 94, pathetic. Let's just quick run through these again. Trade deal, land, bathe, remainder, kill, quick, boat. Oh, no, that was navigate. All right, we're gonna land, hope, individual, rend, clear, rip, tear, contain, chain, link, in succession, double, ability, set up or prepare, instruct, horse, you can whip your horse, harm, side, master, detain, write down, duty, almost said kill, root, rate, blame, extinguish, department, status, kill, belt, garden, lady, vice, secondary, navigate. No, this one is ship. Grandchild, distribute, create. Genius with money is wealth, distinguish, difference, assemble, organize, remainder, make a deal, climate, quick, seat, warehouse, bathe, navigate, defeat, snow, touch, island, source, breathe, luggage, oh yeah, load, abbreviation, follower. Yay, okay. All right, good stuff. We're getting there. I feel like the rest of N3 probably won't be so bad, and then this could get very interesting, and then this I think it'll be like wandering in the desert. All right, bye-bye for now.